103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty at 8:03. Good morning to Ashley White. She's going to be here from the Extension office in just a little bit. Of course, we have a road closure this morning.
Right.
And we need to tell you all about that, so we're going to have that just to kind of update you on. And maybe Mr. Jeff Sims pops in here in a little bit. You never know. He might not, but that's okay either way.
Well, he harassed us all night last night. You and me both.
I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, I did. No.
Yes, he did. We love you, Jeff.
But you better be getting in here, me lad.
That's right. We stayed up late just for you, so get up. It's 8:03. Should be a gorgeous day. We started out. I had thunder was going this morning, and it
Saw a
when it
little
was
lightning
really
off
early.
in the distance.
Yeah, I had lightning off in the distance. Had quite a bit of thunder. Had some, especially north. I think the northern end of the county got it a little bit heavier than what Princeton itself did, like downtown area. Out in Farmersville, we got quite the downpour and the thunderstorms this morning at about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So, but that all kind of chilled out, and now we've got a gorgeous day, it looks like. I know the chance of
Slight chance.
precipitation kind of goes down throughout the day, high around 89. So if you're going out, put the sunblock on it. The kids are at football practice, which mine should be before too long. Hint, hint, get out the door, CJ. But take the sunscreen. Make sure they got plenty of water. It's going to be a hot one and kind of muggy today.
Maybe a little extra fluids today. It's pretty humid out there.
Yeah, I would say
Dew point's high.
the sports drink and the good old sunblock. That's going to be something that's going to be necessary today. Again, Ashley White from the Extension office will be with us in just a minute. They're going to get us caught up. And I'll tell you, she is the busiest lady. I don't know how. She must have the biggest coffee pot in the whole wide world. 8:04 and 78 with Tess and Ty, 1580, 103.3 WPKY. 1581. 1580 103.3 WPK.
All right.
There's a, when the computer just decides it ain't in the mood. It's like, you know what? Shut up.
It's okay.
Oh, it's going to be a beautiful day, and the rain's going to
It's a beautiful
kind
day.
of go away throughout the day. We've got some clouds that'll be here and there, and I think it's going to be more spotty in certain places in the area. Nothing huge. High 89 today, which will be nice. It will be hot. Get the
Sticky.
sunblock. Yeah, sticky.
I mean, well, let's just say
Sweat,
let's just say it.
sticky, yucky. Put the deodorant on. You're going to need it later. I mean, let's be honest about it, right? Make sure you take plenty of bottled water. That's something that I don't drink nearly enough, and they fuss at me all the time about not drinking enough water.
Stay
Water in
hydrated.
sports drinks and things like that. And we've got the perfect person to tell us all about it. Ashley White from the Extension Office. And, hey, I bet you she can yell at me and tell me the right way that I'm supposed to be doing that, right?
I would never yell.
She can tell me the right way, though. But water, right?
Water is
Hydration.
important, yes.
Hydration, period.
Yes, just in general, but especially on the hot days.
All right, I'm not gonna, here's my thing. I always try to say, well, sweet tea's water too. There's water in sweet tea,
But then it has that extra sugar in it.
and then
And that's kind of a no-no.
Yeah.
honestly.
well, and then first thing in the
We're
morning.
supposed to get, our limit is supposed to be 6 teaspoons of added sugar for women and 9 teaspoons for men. So
Hey, I get
congratulations.
Oh,
Congratulations, you get 3 more.
Oh, my.
But that's supposed to be our limit, but there's sugar in everything. So just being aware, paying attention. maybe doing 1 sweet tea and then water.
Now, actually,
Well, the sweet tea wouldn't be the bad part. It's the coffee I had before I had the sweet tea, and then the coffee again after the sweet tea. That's the problem.
now, actually, though, they actually have tips if you wanted to say, you know what, I want to eliminate sugar from my life.
Not me.
And there's people that do that.
Yes, that's
But
hard. It
it's
is hard to do
difficult, though,
because
isn't
the
it?
added sugars
Right.
that you find in the processed foods, that's hard to do. But yes, we can help you lower your sugar intake.
Well,
I
you
don't
you
know
all even
about
have
trying to
diabetes,
eliminate
right?
it completely. We actually we partnered with the Penny Ryle Health Department and Health First to offer a diabetes education class actually in May. So
I thought that was wonderful, by the way. There were several people that was talking about that. You all did a wonderful job.
well, they did the teaching. I made the snacks. I will not take credit for
No
any of the
sugar added.
education part. There's a certain amount of sugar that can be included.
Okay.
So we used artificial sweeteners in some of the products, and then tried to focus on the fresh vegetables.
Well, and
And
those can
then
be
we-
refreshing too.
Very
So
much so.
I did do cookies for the last day.
That's my girl
and
right
they-
there.
But they, the focus was on let's have 1 cookie, and it's got the 10 grams of carbohydrates, the 10 grams of sugar. So then you can have something else.
Look
But
at her just
Right.
work those numbers
one-
out,
Oh,
one
man.
cookie.
Just pop them right out there, can't you?
well, that was last week. No, don't ask me 3 weeks ago what the recipe was or how many grams of carbs it
Oh,
had.
my
That
God.
one was
the,
last
The
week.
queen of family and consumer
telling-
science.
this is
the
why-
UK.
You're
This is
gonna-
why you're
gonna
important
make
to
my face
have.
red.
Well, it's
gonna embarrass
summertime.
me.
No, it's a good thing that you're there and that you know all these things that we don't.
That's what they're there
I
for.
don't want to know some of them. I'm not.
Well, and
But
if
it's
I don't
important.
know, because I do not know everything, I used to say I know a little bit about a lot. And if I don't know, I will try to find the answer.
And that's the part that we really enjoy. And you're a busy lady. I mean, you have a lot going on. One of the things that we were talking about is I thought was really neat, and I said, whoever come up with this, is just is a genius. And this is the stories and songs and stretches. Tell us about that.
Okay, so our Story, Songs, and Stretches program is a yoga-inspired story hour. It is designed for preschool-age children, but it's fun for the whole family, so we are not going to exclude those younger siblings or those older siblings. Bring the family. We'll have a good time. We read a story, And in that story, we then make our bodies into the shapes of the characters in the story.
Wow.
So this week we did an animal theme, and we did different animal shapes.
Aww.
And then next week, our class is on Monday from 10 to 11. And next week, we're doing a beach theme.
Ooh.
No. Sorry, that's 2 weeks. Sorry. This one is a feelings theme. We're going to read the story, The Grateful Giraffe.
Oh, that's a good book.
And so it's more animals, and we're going to make our bodies into those animal
Look at me,
shapes.
I'm a worm. I mean,
You can't go wrong with animals, though.
how do you do a giraffe? I mean,
The giraffe, we're going to do a mountain pose
Oh,
with the giraffe.
Okay,
mountain
so you're actually doing the classic yoga poses.
Many of them, but children's yoga is very different than adult yoga.
Right.
So you don't have to, you don't try to manipulate their body to look exactly like the mountain pose or the downward dog pose. It's more about getting them moving.
Now, a lot of times people think, I'm not 20 years old anymore. I can't do yoga. I mean, what would you say to those people to encourage them to at least try it?
Start small. And it doesn't have to be yoga. Just come to my class with your kiddos and you can do a little bit, or we do encourage the grown-ups to participate, but it's not mandatory.
Hey.
You can sit with your child, or you can sit on the side, or you can get on a mat with them and you can do the poses with us too.
Well, and if nothing else, if they're out there watching, they can go home and do it in the privacy of their own home, and at least they know what to look out for and what to do, right?
Yes. And last week I taught a lesson. It was our homemaker lesson, our Zumba, yoga, Pilates, and more. And I went to the 9 surrounding counties, and it was not necessarily just, you should do Zumba, or you should do yoga, or you should do Pilates. It was all about physical activity. And then we talked about what those specific group fitness activities were, but the point of the whole lesson was do something.
Keep moving.
Move more. Even if it's I sit all day, I'm going to stand every hour.
Well, and
that's something.
across the board too, right? I mean, that's just, I've always heard that when you stop moving, that's when you stop moving. Mm-hmm. And I mean, is that true? I mean,
And
is there truth to that?
It's very easy to get out of the habit of moving, and then it's harder to get back in. So we do want to shoot for 150 minutes of physical activity each week.
Oh, wow.
That seems like a lot, but you can break that down. Any type of movement counts towards that 150 minutes. So 30 minutes, 5 days a week.
But that
10
goes
minutes.
towards that sugar that we were talking about.
10 minutes, 3 times a day.
Not
We can
only-
usually find 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Not only the physical aspect of this, though, I think there's a mental aspect, especially to yoga.
Yes.
A calming, a relaxation aspect, the breathing.
we could use that.
Definitely we could use it today. But every day is a good day to kind of stop, take that deep breath, and get into yourself just a little
Yeah.
bit so you can relax. Kids especially.
We actually do a breathing activity during story, songs, and stretches. It doesn't last very long because, ages 3 to 6, that attention span is not very long, but we did something called lion's breath, and we did snake breath,
Nice.
and that's our little mindfulness breathing break activity, and then you
Snake
move
breath,
on
is that
to
what I-
something else.
Is that what I do when I have all that coffee? You got snake breath.
Bless your heart. I'm suddenly feeling bad for Ty because he stands downwind of the fan of me in the morning. So maybe that snake breath on the coffee could be me. You never know. No, it's really and
great.
truly though. That is something when you start from kids. And when you take them, it's just like reading. When you get them interested in exercise when they're young, they crave it when they're older.
Yes, and they're practicing those gross motor skills. We're doing cross-lateral movements that are helping those brain connections. We are reading the stories, which is helping with early literacy. We're singing songs, so that's also helping with their early literacy. So we may not be showing them a picture that says this is an A, but they're building kindergarten readiness skills.
I think that is amazing. To be
So-
honest,
Good
that's half
stuff.
of the battle right there. So let's go over it again, the times and the days and the wins and the where. Now you said
Okay.
you're also going to take that to the library as well,
Yes,
right?
I've actually been doing this program once a month in the library for the last several months.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to continue during their story hour, which is on Tuesdays. But the class at the extension office is Mondays during June, and then we'll do it from 10 to 11 in
Okay.
the morning. And I do ask that you go ahead and call and register. Space is limited.
Oh, I bet.
There's only so much room in our meeting space, but so just give us a call and we'll get you signed
Now,
up.
does this cost anything?
No, it's free.
See, I like that. Free. It's my favorite word in the whole wide world.
Good
It's
stuff.
free. So it's a fun little activity that you can do for an hour. Gets those wiggles out.
Hey, during the summer with the kids at home, that's an important thing, and especially anything that mom and the kids or dad or grandma or whatever can do with the kids.
Babysitter, anybody.
I think that's
Just
wonderful.
children do need to be accompanied by an adult, though.
There
so
we
do
go.
Keep that in mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're not going to let you go anywhere. We're going to change gears here in just a
Okay.
few minutes when we come back. It's 8:20 on Coffee Talk with Tess and Ty on WPKY. Fifteen eighty 103.3 WPKY, and if you're looking for something to take the whole family to this week, Aladdin is playing at Capitol Cinema in downtown Princeton, and this is the brand new movie that they're coming out with. This is the real people. If what my kids call it.
They call it live. Do they call it live-mation or live animation or something? Is that they call it? I don't know. But it's just like real people.
I'm not sure, but in my house it's called the real people version.
I like the real
So
people version. I
cartoon
dig it.
version. But Aladdin, it should be a really good time for the whole family. It's rated PG, 2 hours 15 minutes on Friday, 6:30 and 9:15. Saturday, 1:15, 4, 6:45 and 9:30. On Sunday, 1:15, 4 and 6:45, and then Monday through Thursday, 6:30. And then Godzilla, PG-13. Of course, you can go and see that this week. I think that the graphics are going to be ridiculous
Yeah,
this
if you're
time.
into all that stuff, it's going to have it. It's going to be action packed, and of course, it's a Godzilla film.
Well,
so
any of these movies that I've seen in the last few years, it's like the graphics just get better and better and better and better and better. And sometimes you have a hard time figuring out, okay, is that the real people version or is that the cinematography version?
the Imputers is amazing.
I mean it, unless you're me and they don't like me very much. 2 hours and 15 minutes is how long it's going to take. On Friday, 6:30 and 9:15. Saturday, 1:15. 4 o'clock, 6:45, and 9:30. Sunday, 1:15, 4 o'clock, 6:45. Now, that shows in Cinema 1 on Sunday, Monday through Thursday at 6:30. And then, of course, here's a tearjerker, the feel-good. If you want to score a couple of points with the girlfriend or the wife this weekend, maybe even with mom, here's what you take them to. A Dog's Journey. It's rated PG. Of course, it would be good to take the family to. That's in Cinema 3, and it'll run about an hour and 55 minutes. Take the tissue.
Oh yeah,
I've
looks
heard
like
you're
it.
going to laugh, you're going to cry. It's one of those that the whole family will watch over and over and over again and become a
Emotional
favorite.
roller coaster.
I know. I love that. Friday, 6:30 and 9:15. Saturday, 1:15, 4, 6:45, and 9:30. On Sunday, 1:15, 4 o'clock, and 6:45, Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Of course, there's Summer Saturday movies. That's a free movie thanks to the sponsors of some local business people and also some organizations around that have sponsored that. The entire family, 10 o'clock is when the doors open. The movie will start at 10:30. Happens to be Despicable Me #2, and next week's is Despicable Me #3. And that is kids of all ages can get in there absolutely free, won't cost you a penny. 10 o'clock is when the doors open. 10:30 is when the movie starts, and that's each and every Saturday all summer long during summer vacation. That is with Capitol Cinemas in downtown Princeton in 103.3 WPKY. 1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty on Coffee Talk this morning with Ashley White from the Caldwell County Extension Office right here on 62 West in Princeton. We are so happy to have her here. And we just got through talking about yoga and all of the good stuff that they're doing out there with the stories and the songs. And bless her heart, she even goes out to the library and does it out there. I don't know how she does it. She seems like she's in 10 places all at the same time. And maybe it's the yoga time. Maybe that's what helps her.
I'm sure it is. I mean, all the downward dogs and the, super
Standing
giraffes
giraffes.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
The sneaky snakes. I
Gotta
mean, you never
give
know.
you energy and flexibility, right?
That's right. What else have you guys got going on? Now, you've got some baking things that I'm interested in.
Yes, Joni and I are offering a super summer, I can't talk this morning, y'all. Summer food fun baking
You're in the
boot
right
camp.
place.
All right. I'm in good company.
That's right.
And this is open to 6th through 8th graders. It will be June 17th through 18th from 1 to 3:30. And we are just going to learn and practice basic baking
I
skills.
love that. Anytime you can get the kids in the kitchen and encourage them to do so.
Yes. And baking is a great thing to start with because number one, we like to eat sweets. Come on. It gives us a good opportunity to talk about how sweets can be part of a healthy diet in moderation.
Ah,
So that
that's
we're not
that word I'm missing.
if we bake this cake, we're not going to eat this whole cake. We're going to have a piece and then we're going to share with our friends, or we'll have a piece today and then a piece tomorrow. So rather
At
than
my house, it's whoever gets to it first, you know?
right. So it gives us a good opportunity to talk about eating our sweet goods in moderation. And baking is also great to practice measuring skills because baking is one of those exact sciences.
Math.
Yes, math skills.
Definitely.
And following a recipe course, that would be reading.
Yes.
And following directions. Then you've got math.
Mm-hmm.
And then healthy eating, because most of the time, I've found, being a mom, if they cook it, they'll come closer to eating it.
They'll try it.
At least try it or nibble on it, I mean, they have to. They made it, and they're proud of it. They're like,
Right.
look what I made.
Look what I made. It's delicious.
Out of all the things that you teach cooking-wise, whether it's in the kitchen or whatever, what is your favorite to kind of get across to the folks that you teach?
Well, they all have different aspects that I love. I do love the baking because it really is a trial and error. If you try something and it doesn't work, or you're going through and you're reading this recipe but you left out this important ingredient, and now you've got to figure out what you left out and why your product didn't turn out. So I do like the baking aspect, but then again, I like just the cooking because it is more flexible. So if I don't like this certain spice, I can try another spice and do a little bit of maneuvering.
Sure.
So they both have good aspects of both. I like to eat the sweets.
Oh,
In moderation, of course.
Oh,
I mean,
don't come to my house. I'm just saying. You'll fight over that cupcake.
Well, I remember when you had the canning class.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really cooking,
Right.
but it's sort of cooking, but there's a process to that too.
There
and
is,
there's
and it's-
different.
go ahead.
Well, there's just different types of ways to do it, and if
Mm-hmm.
you don't do it properly and in the right steps, then you can get sick.
Yes, and it's
So-
an important
Yes.
process. So,
Are you
yeah.
guys going to go over like storage as well, and
With our baking?
when to refrigerate and what they're
Sure.
supposed to do?
Food safety. Food safety is incorporated into all of our cooking classes, especially because that would be hard to get people to come to just a food safety class.
Well, now that's true. I guess that was
You have to-
that was a secret I wasn't supposed to tell.
you have to throw that in there. So
just
thanks for spoiling
I'm
it.
not good at keeping secrets. I'm sorry.
I just cut up that chicken. Can I slice that pizza?
Go for it. It don't matter. It's all going in the same
I
place,
break
right?
people's heart when I tell them to thaw meat in the refrigerator, not on the counter and not in the sink with warm water. The best method is to thaw your meat in the refrigerator. And it just breaks people's hearts sometimes.
Well, Grandma used to do it, Miss White. Why can't I do it that way?
I know, because things have changed.
We do. We have learned over the years. We've learned a lot, and it's not that Grandma was wrong. She just didn't have all the information, right?
Right.
So tell us again. Remind us of the days and the times, and of course,
Sure.
pre-registration ends when?
Pre-registration ends June 14th, and the class is June 17th through 18th from 1 to 3:30, and it's for 6th through 8th graders.
All right. Now, do they need to bring anything with them, or their apron, or tools, or anything like that?
We'll take care of everything. Just
Hey.
call us ahead of time. And
I
space,
like
of
that.
course, is limited, so
You got to spread out to be able to bake
yes.
and that sort of thing.
We
So
want
space is
everybody
gonna
to
be
have that
limited.
hands-on experience rather than just having to watch. Or
In the age groups, that's flexible a little bit. If siblings want to come along, or
depending on ages, yes.
right now the minimum age, let's just not go down below that.
We're going to try to keep it pretty close to 6th to 8th grade, but
Okay.
if we need to go down one or up one, we'll be flexible, but it's a little more.
No,
We
we
wanna try to
understand.
keep it at
we
that-
we want to follow the rules, Miss White.
We want to. We
want to bake the cookies. We want to
I don't know
follow
what
the
you
rules.
make me feel like I'm back in school when you're calling me Miss White. I'm not used to being called Miss White anymore, so.
We want to follow the rules. We want to be good.
So we're going to try to keep it at that age range. We'll be a little more flexible, but
Right.
maybe not as flexible as with our story songs and stretches.
No, I understand that. I really like that, though, that there is something for everybody. We
We
started
try.
out with the young ones. Now we're moving to the teens. And then maybe they'll have something for the adults. I bet they do.
I think there could be something
Maybe.
really good cooking with the adults. I
How
think.
about that for a segue? We're gonna change gears really quick and be right back. Of course, if you're going out today, a lot of the rain should be dissipating throughout the day. Your higher chances of it was this morning, and then that diminishes throughout the day. It's 8:32 and 73. Tess and Ty with Coffee Talk 1580 103.3 WPKY. $15.80 103.3 WPKY. Guess who stopped in? Mr. Jeff Sims.
After taking a beating this morning.
What?
He showed.
No. I wonder.
Donuts in appreciation for the coverage of the road closure this morning, and I hear that bad things have been said. I'm just kidding.
Well, only Ty. He was the only one that said anything mean. I'm nicer than he is.
Forgive me, Sir Jeffrey.
So we got road closures this morning, right?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
And that should be temporary until about noon, correct?
That's right. And I appreciate you guys covering that. That was a late-breaking event from P&L Railway. We're trying to really work with those guys to improve our crossings. And we had one out there on Railroad Bed Road that was in severe need of some rehabilitation. So they agreed, and they are helping us this morning.
Hey, anytime that we can help, especially with something like that, you let us know, because that's one of those things that can really disrupt. But it's something that we really need, you know. And if we're gonna fuss and say, "Man, these roads need to get done," we got to be willing to be a little patient with them every once in a while.
And, you know, what people often overlook is the coordination that it takes with our fire, our emergency services personnel. You know, they don't, when seconds count, we don't want to take away, we want them to know what routes they need to take, so we contact them ahead of time as far as notices we have. The next one that we'll be working on that I'll go on and touch base with that we have tried to publicize already is going to be a major impact to our area is still scheduled for sometime this month, and the state is getting back to us with a firm date, but the railroad crossing right here at Casey's Corner
Oh,
will be closed for 1 week.
oh my goodness.
So
That'll be interesting.
Oh, that's gonna. I say we send Ty out there with a poster board out in front of the radio station. What do you think?
I just
And
want a
it'll say
point.
"Turn here." We'll get him out there with the orange cones and the gloves
I want
and
my
all
glove.
that.
I want the
It'll
orange
be like
gloves,
Top Gun
man.
right here in
Yeah.
front of the station.
So we're working with the city closely, of course the county, the state government, Lafarge Rail, all our corporate citizens out 62 West, our trash service. There's a lot of people, emergency services, that will need heads up on that.
Oh wow.
Because logistically, a lot of our supplies to our factories come through this route off the
You know, that's stuff that a lot of us don't even think about, is the logistics of what's coming in and out, not just the vehicles, but the railway itself.
Right. So it's a big event, but it's much needed. That intersection has continued to degrade over time.
Right.
You know,
It's time.
its life. Yep.
Everything has its time. Well, we appreciate you coming in and bringing us some donuts and goodies this morning, and my goodness.
Thanks for letting me interrupt, Ms. White. I'm going to be listening for continued canning safety.
We love when you visit. We
Hey,
love when you visit.
If I can pick on you and get goodies the next day, might happen more often. I'm just saying. Anyway, we're going to thank you so much.
you,
We're
Jeff.
going to come right back with Miss Ashley White from the Caldwell County Extension Office. 838 in 75. Tess and Ty, 103.3 WPKY.
Hey Tess, it's Water Wednesday, and just like that high-efficiency light bulb, a Culligan high-efficiency water softener can save you real money compared to any non-electric softener. They're very, very efficient, remote programmable touchpad. You can save up to 40%, 6% on operating costs, automatically alert when the salt level is low, and boy, will it make that skin soft and smooth and that hair nice and silky. Now, that's efficient from Culligan HE. It's Water Wednesday. Better water, pure and simple. Culligan of Katie's in Hopkinsville, 328 Commerce Street. Katie's, 984-8812. It's 8:40 for Tess and Ty on Coffee Talk.
1580 103.3 WPKY 840 on Coffee Talk. And of course, we've still got the Caldwell County Extension Office here with Miss Ashley White. And let's see, we've gone from talking about the kiddos and the younger kiddos. We'll start there with the children with the yoga and songs and all the poses and all of that good stuff. We watched Ty make a giraffe pose. And, that's going to be a lot of fun. I really do. And then the second time we talked about the teens and baking.